Welcome to Nonprofit Network, powered by Stokes Auction Group. We are a podcast focused on benefit auctions and fundraising events for the nonprofit community. We are a group of fundraising professionals that specialize in raising funds to improve communities of all sizes. And here it is, episode number 13. My name is Shelby Stokes. On the cast today, we have fundraising support specialist Kelly Schinfeld.
Hello.
And accomplished auctioneer Paul Schinfeld.
Hey, you guys. Thanks for joining us. Our 13th episode. We love you. Thanks for being here.
13th episode.
Isn't that
tomorrow
cool?
is Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
What?
It's a sign. So some people think Friday the 13th is a lucky holiday. Others believe that it is cursed. Where do you fall on this?
Well, considering what I have ahead of me tomorrow, I am going to abstain.
You're going to abstain.
I'm going to abstain because I do not believe it has anything to do with anything. So, I don't believe it's a curse or luck. I believe it's just a day that falls on a day that falls on a day, and they made a movie out of it or whatever, and it's fine.
But you're still
Please
not
let it just be a day, because tomorrow is a big day for us.
Tomorrow is a big day. Travel is happening. It's all going on.
And we have to test and make sure we don't have the vid.
The vid, it's out there. It's going
out there.
on. It took another couple of our members this week. It's not. They are out from COVID. To be clear,
Yeah, it didn't take them.
It didn't, yeah,
They're still here.
They're still here.
Yes.
They're great. They're just under the weather. But anyway, today we're going to be covering some games, which is why you're seeing Game Time above us. But before we hop into this week's episode, let's talk a little bit about what we covered last week, which was community.
Community building.
Community.
Oh, community. And how to play together nicely, how to reconnect with the community.
Yes.
And that's going to bleed a little bit into this week's show, because we're going to be talking about how maybe you built some community back at a show recently.
Yeah. Are we launching right into that? Or are we still talking about last week?
I think we should talk about last week.
Okay, last week.
Let's do it. We did
How to
some
play
shows.
nicely together. Summarize that.
Yes, how to play nicely together, which the three of us do
That is
most often.
Exactly right. So, I mean, we have been talking about building community, and we also had some young fundraisers in our midst recently.
We did, and you're going to be seeing pictures of those young fundraisers.
Yes, our up-and-coming entrepreneurial fundraising
Yes.
specialists.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, you guys, they are our grandbabies. I mean, they're all our grandbabies, and well, they don't have grandchildren yet, but so we had Soph, and we had Lincoln, or Kaiman, and Charlie, and Isabel all run the fun run.
Yeah.
They did laps. So
They
they're
did.
raising money for their PTA,
Mm-hmm.
and they went around and they asked people to sponsor a dollar amount per lap.
Yes, and they maxed out at $36, you know, so, but
36 laps.
36 laps.
Yeah.
But if you were, you should have bet at least $1 a lap for these little people, right? Because they're not a mile lap.
No, and I sit on the PTA for the school, and I can tell you that this is one of their biggest fundraisers.
Look at you.
I know.
Good,
Let's
Shelby.
talk about how amazing I am. But no, they did very well. They do well every year, and the kiddos had a really good time. My daughter raised way too much money, and that's all because of the people we know and the community that supports her. So, tying it back,
Absolutely.
well, fundraisers are knocking it dead, huh?
Yeah, you know, I think that people are trying to find different ways to monetize anything that they can, right? I mean, and I think that's a win. And it tells the kids also the importance of raising funds for different things in their school that they get to partake in as well. And things aren't just given freely, you know, you have to kind of work to earn some of it. And it's a lot better than the chocolate candy bars, because let's face it,
Oh my
I
gosh.
still have about 22 of them hidden up in the closet that,
Oh.
yeah, no.
We just bought the box. Like,
Yeah,
as soon as
so-
they brought it back, they're like, yeah, okay, we'll just pay the money.
So did Mark. Mark's like, how many are in your box?
me the
Okay,
whole
just give me the box. Let's stop the whole asking thing.
Well, my kid wasn't even sure. She's like, this is a fundraiser? I just took him home, and now you're celebrating me at school for selling candy. Like, I don't understand. What happened there?
What a great idea, though. Get the kids out, getting exercise,
Right.
Yep.
hanging out and socializing with their friends and their peers.
Yeah.
You know, talking how much did you raise per lap? How about you? How about you? And it's going to the Parent-Teacher Association, which is desperately in need of the funds.
Definitely.
I thought it was a great idea, and I was happy to support it. However, just for the record, you said $1 a lap?
Yeah, we
Oh.
got stung. But Mark and I split it up. We got smart, you know, because we knew that we had Isabel, Kai, Charlie, and Soph.
Yeah,
So we're going to get hit by all 4 of these little buggers. So we were
smart,
like,
yeah.
okay, Mark, you're going to take those 2, and I'm going to take those 2. So that's how we solved that problem.
awesome.
So, yeah.
I mean, what we did this time around is we just didn't support our kid. We supported
Well,
everybody
there you
else's
go.
kid. You know what I mean? We'll help everybody else except for our kid.
Oh my gosh. And to be honest with you, it was neat because the school put together, maybe you can help me with that. It's a leadership. There was a leadership piece that went with it. So the kids, they weren't just said, here, you're going to run around in circles and get your parents, basically, what happens to get their friends to donate money, right? Or your grandparents. So it was a leadership building thing, which kind of caveats into the community piece. You know, they're trying to teach these future fundraisers to be members of a community and leaders in the community. And I think that's an important piece to also be talked about.
Those are valuable lessons
Yeah.
at that age. Those kids will never forget that.
Never
It'll
forget
be a
that.
part of
Never forget until next year when they hit us up for money
Yes.
again. Yes.
Yes.
Good point.
Way better than wrapping paper.
Way better
Don't
than
buy the wrapping paper, people.
You know they sell that at the dollar store? Uh-oh.
Anyway, we're going to get in trouble. Let's be back here into the podcast.
So if you're watching this sometime in the future, it is mid-May, and boy, it feels like May.
If
It's
you're
been-
watching this from the future, I know why he said that. I just watched this thing on aliens, and it's freaky, and it's on the History Channel, and you should watch it.
And that's a different podcast.
It's a different podcast, but it's so...
But this weekend, we all had the opportunity to go to fundraising events, right? We all did them. I was at a little Catholic school in Puyallup, Washington, and it was very fun. They normally have 300 people. They had about 115-ish, and less items, but all about community building. And it was a blast. Our numbers in terms of fundraising goals and totals were less than they have been in the past, but they've been going through a lot. There's been a lot of change in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to see them come back together. You know, one thing that I will say is, like, my advice to that group would be to just keep it simple, right? We don't want to do too much too quickly. We don't want to overtax our internal staff with putting everything on their shoulders. Because, you know, you go from a system where they had a paid fundraising specialist who was focused on putting in this event
Strictly
to
volunteers.
somebody that is doing so many other jobs, and now they're doing an event. And I think you just have to take it for what it is, and it's a celebration of community. So I had a really good time. Shout out to them, and good work this year.
Good job.
Yeah, I also did a Catholic school. It was
Nice.
in Bellevue, which is where the event was, at a venue there, the Hyatt. And beautiful. And usually they do it in the school gym, but we did it in a hotel this year, which was great. We had about 400 people. We had about 32 live auction items, and it was an absolute hoot.
32?
We had 32. It took me about 2 hours and 15 minutes to get through it, but they hung with me all the way.
They just threw their wallets up onto the stage and
just
let Paul
basically
pick
did.
what he
Yeah.
wanted out of the wallet. So that was nice.
We had not been together for 3 years, or 3 years, yeah. It's been 3 years. I can't even keep track anymore.
Well, if it fell in the spring, that's what they're... Yeah.
It's 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so a lot of people, volunteers, couldn't make it because of COVID or other illnesses. So we called in some old guns that have been a part of this show for years, and their kids have graduated and moved on. So we called this guy the night before, or not me, but they did, and he showed up, and I've been working with him for years in the past, and he's great, and we would not have been able to do it without him. So we had no volunteer spotters, so we come off the stage, and we're helping pick up dessert dash sheets, me and Jeremy and Jalen, and everybody just jumped in and helped where we needed to. And so it really felt like a really tight community.
That's cool.
And it was so cool that we could get together, and then Jeremy put on the DJ show afterwards, and he was there till midnight, and they just had a ball.
Yeah,
And
and
so it was just all around success.
one other thing that I'd like to bring to attention on your show specifically, Paul, is like in the early days of them planning this event, they were like, oh, we're not going to go full. We're not going to go full tilt like we used to. We're going to go like half of what we used to. And as we got closer and closer to a go time, it seemed like it kept ramping up as it would traditionally. And then it sounds like by the end, like you were outperforming last year's complete full tilt 100% fundraising totals.
Yeah, you're absolutely
So
right.
it went from like, oh, we're not going to do much to boom, this is a full scale fundraising event. Is that fair?
And I believe that the reason that transformation happened was because of so much goodness from the community as far as donations. The items were so good that, they just couldn't turn them down.
Yeah.
I was initially just going to go there and be the MC and do a paddle race. And then next thing you know, we got 30 great items, class projects, and it turned into a regular show. So you never know.
Yeah, and I would say if you're planning an event and you're like half in, half out, and you had a community in the past, they're coming back. Like, they are coming back.
Go for it.
Get ready to go full, even if you're like, okay, we're just going to do something small this year. Be ready for the generosity and the supporters to show up.
Do we want to talk about my show now?
We saved yours
let's
for
just
last.
move on
There's a reason
to the
why
next-
yeah.
Can we talk about mine? Okay.
Did you do a show this week?
Well, my husband did, yes.
Oh.
I was his
Whoa,
right-hand
you can't
gal.
give him all the credit.
Well,
now.
he's
Don't
a
do
stud.
that.
I mean, let's just talk about that. Mark Schenfeld's amazing. However, I will say that we did a JDRF, and we absolutely had a blast. Real quick, we broke some of the mold stuff for JDRF that we, aren't supposed to do, and had some surprise items and some things like that, but it all worked out beautifully. They have an incredible team of gals there that just are a treasure to work with, and I think that went throughout the rest of the night. I would say that I know we've done a show on timelines, and I know that that's a thing that you got to try to stick to. I think coming back to this community piece, one thing I learned at that event was timelines are important. However, the community banter that's going on and the camaraderie that's happening in the silent auction is more important than sticking to that timeline. They are hungry to be together. You just want to make sure that they're all in the room at the end of the night, and I will tell you they all were, and we were probably 20 minutes late, which is a big deal, but you know what? They hung. They're hanging. They want to stay together.
Yeah.
The timeline is important. However, the electricity that is being generated in the silent prior to is almost more important this year. So keep that timeline in mind. Don't steer from it, but be prepared to be pretty laid back with it. If you feel the energy, and if you're not losing anybody in the ballroom, just be relaxed with it. Don't get upset about the timeline not being right there if your funds are coming in.
Yeah, and you said it. You said it. I think you started that recap by saying best laid plans, never do this during a fundraising
Right.
event, and you did them anyway.
Did them anyway
and
'cause it
they
was the
were
right
like
thing.
the highlights of the night. It sounded
Yeah,
like.
and you don't
Yeah.
know who you're cultivating for next year.
True.
And we've done a podcast on that, about cultivating your community. You've got to remember that sometimes when those things happen organically, who is that person that threw that surprise item in? Can we double it? Can we triple it? What is the deal? Who are we cultivating for next year? And we want to always be mindful of that. It's not necessarily today's dollars, even though that's very, very important. It's tomorrow's dollars too. And so I think that there were some moves made that really, really developed their community for next year and future years to come, because these people were not a normal JDRF donor.
No.
So it was really kind of cool to be a part of that. So
That sounds awesome.
that was my nutshell night.
Yeah, it's been fun, and like we said, it's May. We're all feeling a little fatigued, but at the end of the day, we're still doing good work out there with the communities. So we're very proud and happy to be doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Today's topic, you may have already gathered it if you're watching this on video. It's game time!
Game time, game time, game time.
And if you're listening, you can definitely hear the click, click, click of our fundraising wheel. We have one. We have one
We have one here.
You
If
just
you
give
want
us
to
a
rent it,
call.
you just give us a call. It's available to all of you now, and it's sturdy. So, and you don't have to worry about storing it. So just give Stokes Auction Group a call, and
This is right, exactly
we'll
right.
help you with that.
Now, if you've been listening to our casts, you know that we mentioned a marshmallow gun that was featured at a school a couple of months ago. I'm not sure how long it's been. But today, on our video cast, we're going to be creating a marshmallow gun. If you're listening, we're going to try to describe it. But Paul and Kelly are going to build themselves.
Actually, no, Paul, Kelly, and Shelby are.
Oh, wait,
because
I'm doing this
yes,
now?
you said that you wanted to out of the top of the thing. Here's the thing.
I have half a glove, and it's
Let
just
me-
the fingers.
Yeah,
that's all
but
that
that's
is.
all right. You said you
just
didn't
the
want me to
fingers.
go try and get it. So here's the thing that we're gonna do.
Okay.
And there's different ways that we, as we're building this, that we can talk about how you monetize it, or turn it into a game or whatever.
Right.
So, get a paper cup.
Get a
coffee
paper
cup. We feel like paper is going to work the best. And a balloon. Okay,
a balloon. Like a normal size balloon.
A normal size balloon.
Not a water balloon.
Not a water balloon.
Just a
normal
balloon.
size balloon. If you can see that, it's kind of a normal size balloon.
Is that a Lordy look who's 40 balloon? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I don't know whose it is because my 40th birthday hasn't come yet, smarty pants. But anyway, and then you're going to cut, you're going to cut the whole bottom of this paper cup out. Now keep in mind, we haven't done this before.
Nope.
So we have no idea if we're going to have to erase this entire episode and redo it or not. But so you're cutting a hole in a paper coffee cup. I don't think a red Solo cup that's plastic will work because I think it will cut the balloon.
Yeah.
We had a hard time locating balloons this time of year, so
apparently there's a balloon shortage.
There's a balloon shortage. It's all has to do with there's a whole trailer full of balloons down on the Seattle dock apparently that we can't get anybody to
waiting to be offloaded.
Yeah, waiting to be offloaded.
You got a hookup for the Seattle boatmen. So why are we building these? We're building these because we were so darn impressed.
Right, with
them.
So you're going to take the top of your balloon. Oh, first, let's do it this way. You're going to tie a knot down by the part where you blow it up. So I'm not sure what that's called. That's the blowhole
part of the balloon. That's a whale. Blowhole is a whale.
That's a whale. Okay, so you're going to tie a knot in that.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
I'm using a glove.
And he's using a dish glove because we think that you could improvise and use a dish glove because we can only locate one balloon.
That's right. So we are improvising. So
we're improvising.
Why are we going through this? Because this was such a cool opportunity that we saw at one of the schools that we help because they were able to build some community around these gloves. They basically set up an arts and crafts table for their guests to roll up to and say, okay, build these and then go have fun with them.
Yeah,
so it turned into like grown adults running around the school campus, essentially firing marshmallows at one another.
They were shooting them at each other.
So then you're going to cut the tip out of the balloon. So now you've got the knot tied there and then you got the little hole at the tip. Just these are the scissors and you cut it. Then you stick that inside the cup. You got it?
I think so.
Okay.
Is this right?
It's right. Now you stick this inside the cup.
Okay.
Just like this.
You need some tape.
And fold it over. Yep.
Oh, okay. And then fold it over like that.
Yep. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so amazing. And you can use whatever color tape you want. Oop, my hole's not in the center.
This is much easier with a balloon. I suggest definitely getting a balloon.
Definitely do the balloon.
Just fingers of a glove, not so easy to work with. But hey, it is what it is.
Yes, and to wrap that around there, and there you go. And we got the tape on there. Oh my gosh, that's kind of a lame.
Did that work?
No, you need one more around
tape.
there. So we could monetize these, and let me just tell you while we're building this how you monetize it. So you could, I would suggest this is probably more or less for a school auction or an outdoor event or something where the marshmallows, you don't have to worry about picking up the marshmallows because these suckers are a blast. My husband was up on the microphone, and people were in the back of the room launching marshmallows
and they were
at him.
They were able to go that far.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Bink.
So you could either put together this little kit and sell it for like $10 to your people that come in.
Oh, that's a good
and and have a
there you go.
lines.
Turn it into a kit.
Yeah, a little kit. Or you could, and then you have lines like 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, and launch these marshmallows, and whoever gets them, the farthest wins a prize.
So, I mean, kind of what we're getting at is there's 3 or 4 games we're going to cover today. Some of them are just going to be community builders, but I think you can take just about any one of these games and turn it into a fundraising opportunity as well.
Yeah, right? Here's your marshmallow. I mean, they are, and you could put 2 marshmallows in there even and see, I mean.
I wish I would have done
Whoa, look how far that one went.
Mine's a little, that one goes.
We're firing.
Trying to hit the camera. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so try to hit the camera lens. See if we can.
Your blowhole is not being removed.
Whoa!
That was a curveball.
That was a curveball if I ever saw it. So the whole point behind having a little bit of fun with your community is people are wanting to get out and do something different. This is obviously not for your dress-up galas, even though I personally, if I had an evening gown on, would have a blast after a couple cocktails making one of these and shooting marshmallows at people all night. I think it would be a blast.
That's right. And if you have a teenage kid who's been getting in trouble, just take them home and teach them how to make a marshmallow gun.
Oh, it was a double.
That was a double shot. Yeah.
Right. So there you go. That's how you make a marshmallow gun.
That is a marshmallow gun. Yay! And it doesn't work as good. You got to stick with the.
Yeah, I used a glove and it's not as good.
Yeah,
mine kind of failed.
We're going to make these at the family reunion this year.
Get ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So essentially you can use those. We talked about, building a community as arts and crafts. That's cool. We were also talking about putting up a shooting gallery with them.
Shooting gallery, so you could do it. Would be super fun. So you could even do a piece of plywood with a bunch of solo cups, and then let's say they shoot the marshmallow from about 10 feet back, and in each cup there's a different prize. So it's written on there, $10 of auction money or $100 of auction money. So free cocktail.
Yeah.
But the auction money, we didn't talk about that. The auction money would encourage them.
Money.
So $100 of auction money, right? And it just says auction money. And so that there's a certificate. So they shoot it, a coupon. They get a coupon for spending in the auction, which encourages them to
auction bucks.
Auction bucks.
$250 auction dollars.
$250 auction bucks. Yeah. So there's just different ideas that you could do with it, and people are going to laugh. And guess what? Laughing is good, and laughing opens up so much desire to give.
Yeah.
It really does. Laughter and tears, man. People give when those things are happening. So either make them cry or make them laugh.
That's right. And we hope that you make them cry.
Yeah, or laugh.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that's marshmallow guns. The other thing that we're going to cover today is the raffle wheel.
You could also give auction bucks on the raffle wheel.
Yeah, so you've probably seen one of these before. I have seen them at farmers markets and stuff of that nature. Like if you walk by a booth at like a community building event, sometimes they'll say, spin the wheel and get a prize.
Right.
Same concept here, right? You can have individuals pay per spin and then put different prizes on the different paneling. The one that we have in front of us has a dry erase feature where you can basically write anything you want on there. But anything from auction bucks to gift cards.
Bottle of wine, free drink.
Bottle of wine.
That video you're going to see is where they had a number that tied in with a number on the bottles of wine that were mystery bottles. They were wrapped up.
Gotcha.
So we had bottles 1 through 20, and then on the wheel was 1 through 20. And you spin the wheel, and you can see it right there. And if it lands on 12, you grab bottle number 12, and you say, oh, that's the $150 bottle of wine.
There you go.
And you sell tickets. Tickets to spin are what, $10, $15?
Yep, anywhere from $5 to $25, even $30, depending on what the prize is.
So that is another thing. People see a wheel and they get pretty excited about spinning the wheel because this wheel makes great noise too. What are you looking for? Your marshmallow?
I'm looking for my marshmallow. Found the marshmallow. But yeah, I mean, the wheel provides spectacle, which is kind of what you were getting at. And I can tell you from experience, like walking into a room and then seeing a big wheel with going click, 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 click. People are like, ooh, fun. What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, people are really attracted to it. So marshmallow guns, pretty cool. You can also tie that in with some other arts and crafts. Raffle wheels, also another fundraising opportunity. And that's really what we're looking at, is fundraising opportunities. Can they be community building? Sure. You can give prizes away on the wheel. Alternatively, you can have them pay. Yep. And the last game that we want to cover today is the wine toss.
The wine toss.
The toss for the wine. So
that is a hilarious game.
You take, some bracelets or some hard circular objects.
Yep.
Sometimes bracelets, sometimes rings, depending on what they are. And then bottles of wine, either being empty or full, depending on how you set it up. And you just toss those rings onto the bottles, like you would see at the carnival.
Just like at the carnival, yeah. You
Yep.
get $25, you get 3 tries.
Yep.
You stand about 15 feet away, toss the ring. I think we have some pictures of that too.
Yeah, and then let them know you got high end and low end wine, and you actually could have sparkling cider in there even, to throw it off. You could do all the things. You could really have a blast with the wine toss.
Yeah, and we keep saying the word wine doesn't even have to be tied to alcohol if you don't want it to be. Like if it's empty bottles of cider, as Kelly mentioned, you can set up prizes. Hey, score 3 rings on 3 necks of these bottles, and then you can essentially go home with a prize.
Right.
We've seen quite a few different ways that this applies. Some people will say, hey, get all 3 rings, you win this. You get 2 out of 3 rings, you win that. You participate, you get a blinky ring to signify that you've been playing. We talked about a best of live type application that could potentially work on those in that ring toss environment as well. So
Yeah, you put a ribbon, like a red ribbon, around select bottles. Let's say you got 20 bottles. You put a red ribbon around 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you land on one of those bottles that has the red ribbon on it, you are now entered into the best of live drawing.
That's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can set this up if every item in the live auction is able to be drawn, or just a select few of them. Like we did the best of live last week, and we had to sell all 150 of them for all of 150 chances for every auction item except 2 to be included.
Mm-hmm.
And if we sold 75, then those 2 items were out, as well as the class projects were not included.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tailor this to any way you like, because you wouldn't want your best items to be taken out.
And I think one of the most important things to get away from this is call us, and our consultants are on for you to ask questions all the time. That's part of what you get when you bring us on board and we partner with you, is they will share with you the different games that they're seeing at different places right now, right? Because that's one of the things that happens is there's a collaboration on Tuesdays, on Thursdays. Everybody gets on there and says, what did you see? What did you see? What did you see? Oh, that's great. And put it all into one pot. So give us a shout. We can help you pick a game.
I like
definitely.
the idea of cornhole.
Oh,
Cornhole is really popular.
Yeah.
Everybody loves cornhole.
Yeah, it reminds me of the summer.
It does.
Yeah.
You get $10, you get three bags. If you get it in the hole, you get to pick a prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that, we chose 3 games to specifically kind of drill down on in this episode. I expect we'll do another fundraising opportunities / games episode in the future. So if there are games that you need clarity on, or hey, how does this work, send us a message and we'll work it into an upcoming episode. But more of those... For those listening, Marshmallow just hit Paul right in the eye. Are you okay? Good thing you have glasses on.
It's fantastic.
So much for my shot glasses. They didn't work very well.
I told you, sugar's bad for you. See, very
Love
dangerous.
it. And that's without a shot of hot donkey.
Yes.
Oh, man.
That was an awesome shot.
Too funny.
Woo.
Oh, good. Well, I know
Okay.
we're throwing a lot of games at you, a lot of laughter, but don't overcomplicate it.
Don't
Make it
overcomplicate it. You might
That's
knock
right.
somebody's eye out if you do that. But the good news is the marshmallow didn't really hurt, did it? It just kind of shocked you. Good for you. Okay.
I mean, he can't see out of one eye. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I think he's okay. He just keeps winking at us.
He
That's what
does.
we're-
He loves it. He's crying. He's crying now.
You look really tired, but only in one eye.
That's funny. Yay.
So we covered some games. Those games are normally run by...
Volunteers, which is what we're going to talk
That
about
is
next week.
exactly
That's going to
right.
be our podcast next week. So like he said, don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Don't underthink it. Give us a call.
That's exactly right. Next week, we're going to be covering volunteers, but keep in mind that we appreciate you being with us this week and every week. There's a video version of this available on YouTube. Feel free to check out our YouTube page, subscribe, like, comment, and all the other good things. If you're using a podcatcher to listen audibly, then give us 5 stars if you'd be so kind. Our intro music is by Mixard. Big thank you to them. We appreciate you joining us this week and every week, and we hope we brought some value to your fundraising strategy in some way, shape, or form. If you know someone that can benefit from the content we cover, please put us in touch or give us a call if you want specific insight
Put them in
on
touch
what we
with
think.
us.
Yeah.
Not us in touch with them. I mean, put them. Just call us.
Okay. Sure.
Call us.
Or send us an email.
Send us an email.
auction@stokesauctiongroup.com. Hasn't changed. As of this morning, the Gmail addresses were not working. Guess what? That's been fixed.
Hey, we
Don't worry
fixed
about
it. Yay.
See, we're fixing things and
We're
coming up with
fixing.
best strategies to
Yes.
overcome hard things.
All
we
things.
do hard things.
Yes.
We don't choose to go to the moon because it's easy.
That's right.
We choose to go to the moon because it's hard.
Yes.
Paul, is that right?
That is exactly right. That's exactly what he
That
said.
was hard.
That's not exactly what he said.
Yeah, it is.
Shout out to JF Kennedy if you're listening. Thanks for joining us this week.
Hey, you guys, go out. Be creative.
Be courageous.
And let's raise some money.
Woo!
Money!
Talk to you later, gang. We're out.
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 Bye.